Hi, I'm Richard. I've been volunteering here at Audubon for the last 5 years. The Center for Birds of Prey focuses on both education and rehabilitation of birds that are in one way or another in trouble.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm one of the clinic's interns. Most people know the Center for Bird Rehab. However, we also are focused on creating future conservationists.
Hi, I'm Mia.
And I'm Ryan.
And we've been volunteering here for several months together.
I'd say the biggest benefit of volunteering here is the relationships. As biological students, networking is important, and getting to know a lot of different contacts and who they know and everything they've learned, it's really important for our future.
Hey, my name is Lauren Austin. I am a fiber artist. This place is an educational center, a museum, and a hospital, all at the same time with the same people doing all of that work. And really, they should probably have 3 times as many people, but they are just Herculean in their efforts.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I've been a volunteer here at the Center for Birds of Prey for over 11 years. And I've done a lot of roles, but one of the volunteer positions I particularly like is that of being a docent. The docents work with the education staff, and we work to help connect and interact with the public and our visitors to educate them about birds of prey and what we can do to help them.
My name is Sharon, and I'm an eagle watcher, which means that I go out to a local eagle's nest regularly, compile data of the things that I observe at that nest. Then I report that data, and it goes into a big database, which we can use.
I started volunteering here the minute I retired from my regular job, and I've never enjoyed a job more than working here at Audubon. And I feel like I'm helping the larger effort at getting birds of prey back on the wing, if at all possible.
I give my time, energy, and even monetary donations to the center because I see firsthand all the great things that happen here at the center. And it's very meaningful to me to see what really does happen behind the scenes. And I appreciate how hard the staff works, how hard they work in helping the birds, how hard they work at educating both the public as well as other volunteers about what goes on behind the scenes.
Eagle Watch has over 500 Eagle Watch volunteers, and it's wonderful to know that I'm part of an army of people all thinking and alike and working toward the same goal.
It's just rewarding. Like, even if I'm tired, the energy here with everyone and the birds, it's just very rewarding here.
For me, there's a beautiful mutual trust at this facility. They trust us, so we get a lot of really nice hands-on experience. And then also it's getting to trust in the place you give your time and effort and money. You truly see every single day that you're here that the impact is helping the birds and helping the wild, and that feels great to be able to trust it and to learn, but also to put that effort somewhere that you see the impact every day.
The center is such a good steward of its donations. We work very hard to spend the money carefully. You can see that we reuse and repair things as much as we can, and it means a lot to me that they care so much about their donors and their volunteers.
Being an intern at the Center of Birds of Prey has been an amazing experience. By donating to the center, you're helping students like me achieve their dreams.
The work here is so important to restoring some balance to nature. These birds can't fight for themselves many times, and we have to fight for them, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of money to do that. The requirements for their housing and their food, especially their medical care, are very extensive, and to the extent that anyone can help with this effort, it's most appreciated.
Try that again. A plane was flying over. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wind Beneath Our Wings. We are coming to you live from the Center for Birds of Prey today at lunchtime for our Rapture ER program. I hope you enjoyed hearing from some of the individuals who are involved in our work. We greatly appreciate all of those who give their time, energy, and money to the Center for Birds of Prey. Welcome to Wind Beneath Our Wings. This is our annual fundraiser, and we are raising money to help support the programs that you'll learn about today And if you joined us last night, we feature some other activities, and we are trying to raise money. Help us widen our wingspan. We're trying to raise $90,000 during the next 2 days to directly support programs here at the center. You can do that by donating online or also participating in our auction. Just in, as of today, we have some very generous donors who are offering up a match up to $10,000. So each dollar donated will be directly matched 1-for-1 up to $10,000. So we encourage you to please take this opportunity to click on the links to donate and help support our programs. We also invite you to participate in our auction. We are offering up some fantastic experiences to be involved with Audubon. You can join us at the center for a behind the scenes Raptor VIP visit. You could bid on releasing a bald eagle back into the wild. You can also bid on some other Audubon experiences like a trip to Corkscrew and an airboat trip with Dr. Paul Gray, who is our keynote speaker this evening. So check it out at the links that you'll find in the chat and also in the comments section. Today, we're highlighting our Raptor Trauma Clinic. We have some amazing staff, volunteers, and interns that help take care of our injured and orphan patients that arrive at our doors each day. Over the course of a year, we can admit almost 800 injured and orphan raptors. Last year, we had 765 patients come through our doors. Our ultimate goal is to medically treat, rehabilitate, and release these birds back into the wild where they belong. We also educate the public on what they can do to help protect our important habitats where these birds live and get involved with conservation. So we hope you enjoy your time here today, learn a lot, and let's take it over to Laura to look inside our Raptor Trauma Clinic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Von Medius, and I'm the education manager here at the center. We are currently inside the Raptor Trauma Clinic. So we are going to join up with Beth Lott and our staff that is back there today to see what they are up to with the patients. So give me a second to walk down this hallway. So this is our radiology suite, and this is Beth Lott. She's going to take over and talk to you a little bit.
Hi everyone, I'm one of the techs that work here in the clinic. Today we're going to look at a red-shouldered hawk that was brought in. He had been gunshot. So if you want to take a look at the x-ray, you can see here he's got multiple little fractures in his ulna on the right side. And if you scan over here, you can see 2 pellets that are sitting in his chest. So unfortunately, people do shoot these birds. Sometimes because they have chickens in their backyard and they think they're going to get eaten. Red-shouldered hawks don't primarily hunt chickens. It's more Cooper's hawk, but a lot of people can't tell. But it's not impossible that these guys couldn't grab a small chicken. But today we're gonna he has got a wing wrap on and he has a wound there from where the pellet went through. Today we're going to clean up the wound and see how it's doing, and then re-wrap his wing up. This is an adult red-shouldered hawk that we just looked at the x-ray. He's very complaining. He likes to tell us how much he does not appreciate us. Last time I looked at his wound, it was healing up really well. So we'll see how it's doing today. It's got a nice little scab forming over it, which is really great. Too much longer. So that's really good for him because it'll keep his wing wrapped up for a longer period of time, so it doesn't get the chance to get misaligned by his wrap getting taken off and on so much.
We had a question come in about what he's wearing on his head.
So that is a hood, and many thousands, hundreds and maybe thousands of years ago, falconers who would hunt with these hawks, these type of hawks, made these little leather hoods so it would keep their bird calm and to the point where they were ready to hunt with them, and then they would take them off and let them go hunt. And so as rehabbers, we have found that keeping pretty much any wildlife's head covered, but particularly birds, it really just calms them down. And so they're not so scared of what's going on. This bird in particular just likes to complain a lot. So I'm just going to do a little stretching before we wrap his wing up, just so his little joints don't freeze up too much. So he's been here just over a week. He had his 1 week x-ray checkup on Wednesday. I forgot what day it was. And it's starting to heal a little bit, but the wound itself is doing really well. But this was such a bad fracture that, so usually it takes about 2 weeks for birds to heal. This guy will probably take 3 to 4 because there was just so much damage done to the bone. But birds have a lot faster metabolism than we do, so it allows their bones to heal a lot faster than ours would. Ours take 6 to 8 weeks for us to recover from a fractured bone usually. So these guys are a lot faster.
Another question came in asking if the pellets will be left in his body or were they removed?
They'll be left. More than likely, these pellets are not lead based, and it would just be more of an invasive surgery for him to go through. So we'll just leave them there. This type of wrap is called a figure 8 wrap. And if you've noticed as I go, I'm kind of making the figure 8, kind of crossing back and forth. And it just helps keep their bones stable and not moving while they recover.
Another question came through. Do we give birds like this pain medicine?
We do, and he's been on pain medicine since the day he came in. He's been on an anti-inflammatory for swelling, and he's also been on an antibiotic because those pellets hit bone and there was a little bit of bone exposure there. So we want to make sure that the bone did not get infected. So he's been on lots of medication. He is also on anti-parasitic medication because we do fecal and blood work on all our birds. And he showed that he had some parasites. So we're treating that as well.
Nice. Another question about how he got to the center.
So somebody found that he was sitting on a chair in their yard. His mate was above him screaming, but I don't think she knew he had been shot. She rescued him and brought him here.
Great.
We've already done his pain meds today, this morning. So he's already been treated, but we wanted you guys to see how we do wraps and treat wounds while we're doing the clinic background look.
And when, now that he's done, where do the birds get housed here in the clinic?
So they each have kennels, and it keeps them, they can move around, but it keeps them from moving around too much while they're healing up. And then as they get better, we move them to larger and larger enclosures. Eventually he'll go outside as well.
And then how long does an injury like this, do you think that he'll be at the center?
So assuming that it takes the longest period of time, which would be like about 4 weeks for this to heal, I would be guessing another 2 to 3 weeks out in our rehabilitation cages. So, he could be here six weeks or so.
We had a question come through about red shoulders in general. Are they a common species?
Yes, there are #1 species that we get here in the clinic. Last year we had like, I think 307 red-shouldered hawks come through. So they're very common. Usually if you're in Florida and you hear a hawk screaming, 9 out of 10, it's a red-shouldered.
So this guy making noise is pretty common for that species.
Yes, they're very talkative. They have always lots to say.
Another question came through if the mate was still there, or because they're territorial, like how will that happen when he goes back to the wild? And
well, hopefully she hasn't found another mate to replace him by then, but it could happen. And then there's possibility for territorial fight, but you know, we want to get him back if we can. Hopefully she can hold out waiting for him to return.
And you said this one was an adult. How do you know that?
So with red-shouldered hawks, as they're adults, they get this red and buff colored horizontal striping. They also get some black and white, and his tail's black and white stripes. This is called a tail sheath, by the way. It protects their tail while they're in the clinic. It's old X-ray film, so it doesn't get beat up. The babies have vertical, like little teardrops. And they're kind of a brown, the teardrops are brown and the background is a buff color. So those run vertically, and they're all brown on the back.
But it is their nesting season right now.
It is starting to be their nesting season right now. Yep.
Great. Another question came through about do volunteers and staff pet these birds?
We do not pet them. They would bite us and put us free to him. No, they're very wild birds. They don't particularly like us handling them at all.
When he goes back to the wild, will he be banded?
No, good question. But we don't ban most of their birds. We banned birds that are endangered. We banned our bald eagles. And those are the ones that we do ban.
Great. How many patients are in the clinic right now?
Right now, we're very slow. It's going to be ramping up very soon, any second. But right now, we just have 4. We have this red-shouldered hawk. We have 2 barn owls and an osprey.
Wonderful. We'll give everybody, if you have any last minute questions, send those in. Make sure we don't have anything new. What is the most difficult bird for us to treat? Maybe that's not bird, maybe that's injury. What's either one, but difficult bird, difficult injuries.
Every species has their unique challenges, so it's hard to say exactly which one is the most difficult. I mean, wound-wise, fractures could be, you know, up there, that and neurological problems. It all depends where the fracture is on a bone, and how difficult that is to heal, how broken that bone is. Like with his, there's multiple pieces there, so it's going to take longer. And the neurological issues, you know, we can only do so much. We give them, you know, anti-inflammatories to help with any brain swelling or spinal swelling. We actually use some Western herbs here too, Eastern herbs, Chinese herbs, sorry, that have been shown to help with neurological issues. So we do what we can, but those 2 can be some of the hardest, and electrocutions.
All right, a couple more questions came through. So okay. Are people able to bring birds to us 24/7?
No, we're not here all the time. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough money to pay staff to stay all night, but we are here till 5 o'clock, from 8 to 5, pretty much.
Okay. What do we feed the patients?
So that depends on species as well. Red-shouldered hawks, we usually tend to feed them mice and two-day-old rooster chicks. We also feed fish, we feed quail, we feed beef heart, chicken, and occasionally some other things that come our way, rabbit.
All right, I think our last question that just coming through, a few people were asking about avian influenza. Will you tell us sort of what that is and what we're doing here about that?
So avian influenza is a flu that is out there off and on, usually through migratory season. This type is more pathogenic, means it spreads a lot easier than other types of avian flus. So it's mainly, the carriers tend to be water birds. However, other birds, especially birds that eat water birds, can often get it from them. So yes, some of our raptors can very possibly come in with avian flu. So we are wearing lots of PPE. We are doing our exams outside until we clear them to come into the hospital. Anybody who we think might be showing some signs, which are usually neurologic, if we think that they're bright enough and they were seen to be like hit by a car or something, we might just put them in isolation. But anything else, unfortunately, we just have to be very careful with our population of birds that live here year round. So we don't want to bring the virus into our center.
Perfect. I think all of our questions have been answered at this point. So we are going to head back outside and see a bird friend. Thank you, Beth, so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, hi everyone, this is Alina. She is a Merlin Falcon. So Merlin Falcons, like all falcons, are very fast flyers. They will catch their prey by kind of swooping down and just snatching them out of the air. So they'll eat insects and small birds and also small mammals as well. You can see Alina here is kind of like a dark brown color with some brown markings. So this is what the immature and female birds look like, and the male Merlin Falcons will have more of like a blue-gray coloration on the top of them. So Alina here came to us from Holly Hill, and she came to the center in 2013 from another center, and she was diagnosed with a severely fractured right elbow. So you can see her wing is kind of hanging down here. And so it did heal, but she cannot fully extend her wing. And so to ensure her safety, she is now here full-time at the center. So you can see that she's flapping quite a bit. This is because she has a very high metabolism, and Merlin Falcons in the wild are actually, they fly north, or sorry, they fly south to Florida, and then they will also fly sometimes back up north in the, they will fly back, or sorry, from, they can fly as far as the Caribbean, South America, and Mexico. So that is why she has so much energy, because she's used to flying so many miles in the wild.
Thanks, Danielle. That concludes our event today for Wind Beneath Our Wings. Again, we hope you learned a little bit about what we do in our Raptor Trauma Clinic and the birds that we treat here at our center. We are raising money. This is the center's fundraiser. So we just want to invite everyone to participate by donating at the link that you can find on Zoom or in the comment section in Facebook, and help us widen our wingspan. We are trying to raise $90,000 by the end of tonight, and we hope that you will help us get there. If you have not registered for tonight's event, we have a keynote presentation beginning at 7 p.m. It is also on Zoom, and we would love for you to join us. You can go to windbeneathourwings.org and register. There is still time. We have a match out there to meet our goal of $10,000. We have 2 donors that offered up a challenge match. So if you donate right now, it will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000 to help us reach our ultimate goal of $90,000. Don't forget, the auction is also open until our closed evening event tonight. And we thank those that are involved with our work. We thank all of our staff here and our sponsors that are helping us put on tonight's event. So we will see you soon. Bye.
Hi, my name is Doug Pitts. I'm an Audubon board member, and I'm standing here at the Bird of Prey Center in front of some of the aviaries that have been constructed for displays for the public to see the great work that's done here at the center, where they're actually rehabbing some of these raptors in our area. And I was fortunate enough today to actually be on a release of an eagle that was rehabbed here since September. I've been fortunate enough to have been involved here since the early 2000s, and it's been a very, very rewarding part of my life to see the work that's actually done here. And I would encourage anyone to come to this facility and experience the care and the love the staff have for the animals that are brought here to be rehabilitated. Hopefully you'll be as touched as I am on what happens here, and we would really value your support.